Today we're going to be talking about something juicy, okay? Got something real good for you guys. Alright, as I said, but introduction, that's right. Hello guys, Cain here, having a good day today? I hope so. If not, then I hope it gets better. But today, I found a juicy drama. I found some juicy drama. And it includes a VTuber called Nine. Some of you might know her, some of you might not know her. She's relatively small, I believe. 14.4k followers on Twitter, and she has 2.4k followers on Twitch. But first, let me give you guys a little teaser before we make our way up, before we climb our way up to the juicy part. So first I stumbled upon this tweet, and this tweet was from Nines. Nine said, "Proof in this thread, since Akemi, Mod, Near, and friends want to try and pretend this didn't happen." For those who don't know who Akemi is the founder of Vtard. And we all know, or some of us know, that Saturn Senshi has left, and Nines have left that group. But continuing on, but that was the plan, I guess, to clean it up. As you can see in this screenshot, to make it look like I'm lying or some shit, or ban evade. This didn't need to happen. I don't know why Akemi chose to facilitate this. I have done nothing to her. And this is a quote treat, right? Quote treat. I guess it is a treat. A quote tweet from this post, whatever, yeah. But we're not going to go into that, and we're not going to go into the replies either. But it gets really messy. So let's first start off of how I found this tweet in the first place. This tweet was made 14 minutes ago, so yeah, this is fairly recent. I haven't let the tweet develop a little bit more, but if it does develop a little bit more, I will make a part 2. First, I found this tweet. She stated, Nines stated that right now Akemi from Vtard and her server members are launching a coordinated attack effort to post my docs on Twitter, controlling what I can. If you see something, please have the decency to let me know. And let's see what the replies had to say. This one is kind of interesting. This reply was from Ratrick? Yeah, Ratrick, the Rat VTuber. And this person said, "I don't think that's the case in the slightest. The most recent issue was removing someone for putting a butt plug in there in VC. No one talks about you from what I see." Nines replied to this tweet, or reply, saying, "I have dead to rights evidence in started in Akemi server and perpetrated by Akami's members, so you guys can keep playing dumb even after your little cleanup." Ooh, it's getting heated. So apparently they cleaned it up. That's why this person haven't seen it. And Rat Trick said, "I was the one who nuked Lounge. I don't know what you're accusing me of, but I nuked Lounge because there was a mass reporting that was knocking down members. I literally don't speak of you. I don't think of you. Are you the sum of the server? I like to think of myself as quite active, and I talk to most of the people. The only time I've ever seen you mentioned was by some gooners saying your old prawn name." Oh lord. But even then, I said that was a bad idea. For the most part, no one in that community talks about ya. Borrow trauma. Old prawn name. Apparently she had an old prawn name. This just piques my interest. It continues even more. And that one anime horse game is the topic of most convos. And yes, it is that Akemi, or whatever, Akemi, I'm just gonna call her Akemi. I'm probably saying her name wrong. And then there's people who are supporting Nines, like this guy right here. Oh, so I saw that Akemi is a terrible person soon enough. I'm sorry it's happening to you, but why are they trying to do such a thing? Weren't you friends? We weren't really close. She told her server one day to avoid all ex-Vtards that are not her, and I saw it and was like, cool, because I didn't like who she was becoming and wasn't close with any of her, or with her anyways. Saturn and me left her server without a word. Then she started painting to her members like we backstabbed her. And now I don't know why she is doing this to me out of the blue. She's been spreading my docs in her own VC with her members for a while and weeks ago. Sorry for my reading is off. I don't know why now it has to come to Twitter. She just got suspended from Discord on her own main today too. I don't know, man. She's like off the rails. And it's even weirder that she's spreading the docs info since she's been doxed herself. Dumb move. When someone in our mutual server threatened to dox another VTuber, she freaked out and was worried as fuck. So it's really wild to see her facilitating group harassment with her members to harass Shiro and me. Great Christian community. And there's another guy who's on that server. He said, I see nothing. I am on the server. And Nines replied to this reply saying, I have evidence. Thanks though. But yeah, that's as far I'm gonna read, because all the replies are just, it's either support or people from that server stating that they didn't see anything. This would bring into, you know, this would become a question, right? Does she has evidence? And that's a pretty valid question to ask. So I did end up finding some evidence, but most of the evidence that I did find were in replies of tweets, specific tweets. So yeah, your boy did a little bit of digging. Which leads us to this post. Now that we're at this post, it's time to get to the juicy part. Now, before we get into the quote treat, I keep on saying treat, quote tweet, let's get into the replies, right? Since I already read this tweet. This reply was from Near, and this person said, your prawn name is not your docs, weirdo. It's obvious what side he's on, but we don't know which side is right or wrong. Maybe both of them are wrong. You'll never know. We're just gonna have to get to the bottom of this. And then Nine's reply to this guy's response was a quote tweet, which I'm pretty sure this is the one that I haven't seen yet. So let's go check it out. And oh boy, this one led me to the evidence. It literally did. Because as you can see, you're looking at her tweet, which was a reply. So she quoted her reply, right? And scroll up a little bit. Uh-oh. Is that evidence? Possible evidence? Oh my. And it just spirals down. So I guess we're going to read the entire thing. So this tweet was from Nines. This is from the start. And she said, a heartfelt thank you to everyone who's been supporting me through all of this. I'm sitting on a lot of information right now because it's a delicate situation. And I'm still deciding what I want to do with it. I generally don't know what compelled Akemi to come after me like this, especially when she's coming off a Discord suspension and already on her 3rd Twitter account. Whoa. You'd think she'd have more important things to deal with, but maybe being hateful is just her brand at this point. That's all she has left to offer this world. People who are hurting the most usually end up hurting others, and honestly, that's what this feels like. It's the kind of thing brutally insecure people do, but even with all of that, I'm really grateful. Having you guys here saying kind things and supporting me has made such a difference. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, really. Can you show proof instead of just saying those things? Because I'm literally watching the server, and if you or any other person get doxed there, they will be banned on the spot. I don't know where you're getting these things from. Okay. And then Nine said, it's already been cleaned up. I have the chats where you guys reminded each other to clean up the trail. Truly effed up shit. Near said, I said, can you show proof? Show the chat then. Okay, fine. This is from Akami's server, the initial docs poster. Llama posted my info on Twitter and I replied with this gift. Hence why it was being shared in your server, I'd imagine. And the rest speak for itself. The comment I'm initially replying to will be posted next. Let's go check the evidence. All right. So as we can see, there's a link to Nine's post, and it's Kaiba. You fell into my trap cord. And Nine's, and she added some people, Scarf Llama. I think this is the people in the Discord, and so they got outed. And whoa, would you look at that? Look what this guy said. Fucking clean up. Delete after your postie. Nine's got him. Oh, they got him. Yeah, this doesn't look good for them. This doesn't look good. Kisura Nines has blocked you. This was from Jolly Llama. Oh, and it doesn't just stop there. There's more. Nines said, here's Llama from Akame's Discord posting my information on Twitter in a reply to an unrelated post of mine. Wow. Okay, wow. 5 view. Wow. Oh, Lord. They slipped. They slipped up. They slipped up. And here's all of you in VC with Llama and Akame, armpit lover, what the fuck, as it was happening, followed by docs being posted by 3 other people. Bruh, that's a lot of people in the VC. That's a lot. And Rat Trick, the Rat Vtuber said, "Are you considering your old prawn name to be your docs?" And Nine said, "So you admit it. I do consider that to be docs, yes. It is a time in my life where I was severely abused and given no choice. It is not something I ever wanted to do, nor is it something I'm proud of. It is the exact reason why I am so anti-NSW in the first place. I would never do this to anyone, no matter how much I dislike them, but nothing is too low for Akemi." And Rad Trick's response to this was, "You are so anti not safe for work because you have a prawn history. You are ashamed of your old prawn name isn't a dox. It is a consequence of your choice. No matter what you say or do, you cannot discredit that. Akemi isn't trying to force people to watch your homemade." Oh. I don't want to see that. "She isn't a boogeyman for your past. Find a way to wipe it off the internet or don't complain. Your old prawn handle name was a gem, by the way. Funny as fuck." Wow. But then again, you gotta realize that's her personal life, and therefore you have no right to, share that personal information with everyone on the internet, even if it's on the internet. If they're trying their best to hide it and they're not trying to, let the world know, and you're over here just like pushing it to let the world know, to let the public know, then you're obviously in the wrong, because that's her information, not yours. You can't do anything with it. You can't bring it to light. You're dead wrong. That's personal stuff, right? Because you wouldn't like it if someone took your personal life, something that you don't want people to know, and just bring it to light, right? Like, what right do you have to do that? So I'm gonna have to agree with Akemi. I'm gonna have to, not Akemi, not her, hell no. Nines. I'm gonna have to agree with Nines. I'm on Nine's side. I'm on her side, because even if it's just a prawn handle name or whatever, I feel like people shouldn't know that. If she doesn't want people to know that, then they shouldn't know that, right? If she decides people shouldn't know that, you have to respect her choice. You can't just, oh, I'm gonna take it and throw it into the public because I just don't give a fuck. This is dead wrong. H1B's Nuts said, that's a funny name, "With all due respect, this isn't a dox. When I hear doxing, I think of things such as government name, address, phone number, and email addresses, and workplace info, IP addresses, and family information. Here's the thing. You have a point, but you're not thinking deeper. Listen, it's her prawn name. She's probably hiding it because in those prawn videos, it shows her face. So is that doxing in a way? Yes, because to anyone who sees her face, a person might be like, oh, I know this person. I've seen her here and there. And it can, in fact, lead to a dox. So it might not be a dox right now, but it can develop into one. And so, yeah, I guess you can say it's a potential dox. Not an actual dox, but it's a potential dox. But I'm just going off of assumption because, like, why would she want to hide that if her face is not shown, right? Who's going to know it's her, right? So if she's trying to cover that, right, hide it in the, like, leave it in the past, never bring it into public or anything, keep that a secret, it probably means that those things that she was doing, right, showed a lot of personal stuff that she doesn't want the public to see, right, that can potentially ruin her life. Keyword potentially. So I'm gonna label this as a potential dox, but potential dox should be taken seriously just like any other dox. So just because it's not an actual dox doesn't mean you have to, you know, be like, ah, it's not that serious. It definitely is. It really is. I like this person reply, Ravio. I'm just gonna call him Ravio. This person said, so this was basically you being called out like Ririgaki for dating a black dude or Elfin for being packy. I see. This is so crazy. It's like the VTuber space is not even toxic. I feel like the perfect word to describe the VTuber space is corrupt. Literally corrupt. Because like Riri dating a black man, why is that a problem? Is because he's black? That's racist. I'm write that off right there, right? And Elfin being packy. Like, notice how most of the drama in the VTuber community is either petty shit or racist. It's either one of the two. It's petty, racist, or sexist. Literally. And I don't understand why we are incubating this in this space that is so-called a safe space. I'm being repetitive right now, but I'm pretty sure you guys understand what I'm talking about. And I just don't like that. I think it's safe to say that the VTuber space, majority of the VTuber space is fake. And to be real with you guys, that pisses me off a lot. Oh, like white women dating a black guy. Yeah, why does that matter? Why does that matter? Like, what's the problem? I don't see the problem here. You're just mad because you couldn't get with the white girl. Like, anyways, moving on. Oh, man. Is this a dox? Well, I've said this before. It's a potential dox. It's not an actual dox. Potential dox, right? And I love how these guys are like, oh, own your consequences, yada yada yada. Like, oh, you made that choice, now it's time for you to, you know, take the consequences. Which she is. She's trying to cover it up so she doesn't get doxxed. She's trying to mend that, her past choices, basically, if that makes sense. She's trying to mend her past choices, trying to hide it so her past choices doesn't just bite her in the behind. And because she's doing that, she's obviously aware of the consequences of her past choices. And so she's trying to either minimize or completely annihilate it, right? So she doesn't have to deal with the consequences of that. You can minimize consequences after making, you know, a choice in life. You can. No one said you can't. But for people to dig down deep, right, pull it back up, is malicious. Because why would you want to do that? You would only want to do that if you just want, you know, you want them to suffer, right? Because that is not your business. That's her business. You don't have to share her business out into the world like that. That's very malicious. What's that word? Vindictive? Let's see. Having or showing a strong or unreasoning desire for revenge. That's what it kind of feels like, though. That's what it seems like. Like they're trying to get back at her. And I don't know what Nines did to, you know, hit the wasp nest and anger these guys. But that's what it seems like. Like just vindictive behavior overall by doxing her, which is unreasonable because it doesn't seem like Nines has doxed anyone or, you know, did anything that would reasonably make it understandable for a person to dox another person for revenge. I don't see it. Also, I found something. Who Let Arts said, look who decided to chime in. And it's a screenshot. And also, he also quoted it too. It's a screenshot of not Akame, which is Akame. Akame said, over half the people on here are fake and / or grifters. So this clearly shows that Akame is not evil and crazy. What? And let's see who's on this list. We got Azihara, Kershi, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, Leaflet, Angels, Holy Sword, whatever, Elfin Psyop, yep, Elfin Psyop, Banana Juju, Strawberry Darling, I think that's Akuma, Saturn Senshi, I know your name, I just forgot, Rev says Desu. And this post, it kind of seems like, not even seems like, it feels like she's trying to paint herself as the good person. And I'm trying to figure out as to why, because the only reason why you would want to do this is if you've done something bad and you're trying to cover it up, but people already know that you've done it. So yeah, it's like damage control, kind of. Okay, but I have one more reply to show. This one is a bit... I don't know. If you're a little kid, you should not be watching this video. Nier said, nah, you are rage baiting or simp baiting or something weird. I don't know, you can't be this retarded. Literally doing something or some manipulative shit. Even I can see you are not suffering in those videos. Excuse me? But if you show me police report about the grape, I will apologize. What? What? But yeah, I'll update you guys if this situation develops even more. Like next week, this video is most likely posted on Monday. But if you stayed this far into the video, make sure you hit that like and that subscribe button and that bell notifications. You get notified every time when I upload. With that being said, have a good morning, have a good day, have a good afternoon, have a good night, have a good evening. Peace.